Hey guys, this is Toby Eunice of Garage Prospecting, and I'm going to try and make this work because I'm shooting it outside. I'm doing it for two reasons. Number one, this sluice is tripod mounted, and that tripod, in order to be stable, has to have its legs and feet spread out further than the table in my garage will tolerate. So I've actually put it out here. I have a picnic table under a gazebo, not a gazebo, but one of those outdoor things. So I put it out here. The other reason is I wanted to try out the concept of portability. Now I haven't finished building my my power supply, but I do have this right here. It is a standardized power supply, and to it I have connected this regulated DC power supply that's got a knob on it so I can set it up. And as you can see, I've got the sluice set up like I promised. This is the green material is from Coulter Young at Mining Magnets. This is what he calls his smooth flow header. And I think that was the result of conversations between several people, including our friend from Minnesota, I forgot his name, Flower Gold Wizards. But he had a conversation with another friend of his to produce this. So this is how it ended up. We've got the smooth flow header, we've got the tripod mount, it fits on the tripod. I've got it set at about 10 degrees right now. And then of course I have one of those 1100 gallon per hour pumps, and this is a 17 gallon HDX bin. Everything fits in here, by the way, including the bucket. And then I put one of the spigots on the outside so when I have to drain the water. So it works pretty good. Now, I did discover that there are a couple of leaks. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn the power on with this right there, and I'm going to turn the AC on because it is AC. I've got it set up so it's AC powered. You can see it's got a full charge, AC powered, and I'm going to turn this on so you can see what it looks like, and we'll raise it up. Okay, so I have two leaks that I'm going to have to deal with that I think will be okay for today because I'm not losing too much. One is right there. Now this piece right here, which is the intake for the hose, screws in. You know, he makes these using 3D printing, and that screws in there. And I remember there was something similar on the cleanup sluice, and I had to put some plumber's putty on that, so there's a leak there. That's not bad. I mean, it actually slows down after a little bit. And then there's another leak here on that screw, and that's the screw that tightens down the actual dream mat. So you see these in all kinds of, in pretty much, you know, it's not unusual to have these screws in there, but I think I'm gonna have to put some sort of rubber washer on there to keep it from leaking. I'm not going to worry about it for today. So my plan is to take this and run a bag of Paydirt through it. Now I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to shoot it since I'm not shooting it inside my garage where I have lighting and light stands and all that. I'm going to have to bring a light stand out here and figure out if that's going to work for me. But you can see it's very compact. Everything that you see here fits into this bin. So although I wouldn't call it backpackable unless you had some sort of, you know, Ranger pack, something like that. And like I said, I do have to fix the leaks. It's leaking more than I expected to, but it's not going to be a long run anyway. So I think we should be okay. And the power supply should last plenty of time to make the run. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn everything off right now. I'm going to set the camera on a light stand that puts it into an overhead position, and then we'll make a run and see what kind of material we produce. I do have to get some, what do you call it? The water softener. I forgot the name of it. So I'll make sure we get some in there before we get started. So as you can see, I got the one with the, what they call the micro dream mat. So they're all the same size. They're not, it's not a combo dream mat. So I'm interested to see what it produces. Okay? All right, let me go set up the light stand. I'm going to turn everything off right now. All right, so first of all, I'm going to have to apologize for the background noise. I'm in my backyard, and although I have a 12-foot wall behind me, I still have one of our main thoroughfares on the other side of that wall, and I've got a wind coming through, so I'm going to ask your forgiveness in advance if this audio isn't up to par. But, so here I have a package of the Garage Prospecting New Mexico Blend Paydirt. This is our blend, and I've said that this is a package that sells for $15, including shipping, has some gold in it, no guarantees, got some gold in it, and the idea is to use it to test your equipment. So since that's what we're doing today, that's what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to use it to test our equipment. So I'm going to open it up. I am not going to do so because this is a test. I'm not going to change the dimensions by classifying it or doing anything else. I'm just going to take the Paydirt out of the bag, put it in the bowl. I'm not going to demagnetize it. You know, I'm not going to run it through the dry magnetic separator. But we've added magnetite to the blend, and I'll show it to you just so that you know this blend is actually designed to really test everything, right? So, and then what we'll do, I'm going to do all of this outside, and then as we collect any gold, we'll go back inside the house because I've got about an hour and a half to get the rest of this done before I lose light completely. And normally I would have pretty good light back here, but it's a cloudy day, so that's why it's not the best of situations. And I do have a couple of LED lights back here, but then it gets just too kind of blue and bright. But that's our dirt. We are not going to classify it. We are not going to take the magnetite out of it. We're just going to run it as is through that sluice, testing to see how good this sluice is, and then we're going to see if we get any gold out of it. Okay? So let me set up the camera for the run because right now I'm set up on one end of the table. I did not try to fix the leaks. I don't think they're bad enough so that I'm going to lose enough water that we can't finish this run. And then we'll go ahead and make the run. We'll clean it out the way that we normally do, and then whatever gold we collect, we'll take it back inside and see if there's enough to weigh, and even if there's not, we'll put it under the microscope to see what we got. And of course, we'll take that gold and put it into another bag that we will give away next Wednesday. Remember, in order to qualify for that, you need to make a comment on this video in order to qualify for next Wednesday's giveaway. So we will be giving away whatever gold we find tonight, plus another bag of New Mexico blend. Okay? So let me take a break. I'm going to move the camera so that we're right over the sluice and you guys can watch the run. All right, guys, I think we're ready to rock and roll. I did add some jet dry to the water, and I did brush out so there's no bubbles in any of the cells. I've got it set at the voltage set at 10 volts even, which looks like it's running pretty good. I don't think I'm going to worry a lot about it since, again, we're talking about test material. I still have that leak that I was talking about. I've got two leaks. One from down over here below the smooth flow. That will need some plumber's putty. And this screw right here is leaking through onto the tripod. Now, this is a very durable aluminum tripod, so it's not a problem. I did put an indicator mat in here. What I'm going to try to do is drop the material in this area here and let the indicator mat help me a little bit to see if I've got anything. And then we'll just let it run down. Run down the sluice. I do have the sluice set at 10 degrees, and Coulter has very nicely put a little bubble level on that to tell you how you're doing. He also has a bubble level here to tell you whether or not you're level laterally. All right, let's turn on the music and I'll try to hurry up with this. All right, so what we got, let's see if you guys can see them, are we got 3 kind of flakes in there and then a bunch of small flour gold that it's going to take a while to get out of. So let me process this and get the junk out of there and see if I can get it under the microscope. We'll go back inside and let me see if I can do this with the sunlight here. Damn. Can you see them right in here? There's a little line of gold in there. All right, let me get this cleaned up and then we'll go back inside and get it under the microscope. All right? All right, guys, let's do a weigh-in. I don't think there's enough in there to get anything on the scale. Well, the scale's already dirty. Let's turn it on. Let's make sure it's zeroed out. We'll add an empty tray. Zero that out. And come on, baby. 0.090, 90 thousandths of a gram. It actually registered. Usually we don't get anything. 1 more tenth and it would be 1/10 of a gram. I mean, 1 more thousandth. Ugh, I've got to stop talking. It's just going down. All right, so the idea is, so this is a bag of New Mexico, Garage Prospecting New Mexico blend. Already has gold in it. But after we look at this under the microscope, we're going to add this gold to the gold in here. So you're going to get like a double bag. All right? So let's go over to the microscope, put this under there, and see if I can remember to turn on the camera this time. Oh. Look how shiny that looks like, what do you call it? Flint, not flint, but there's a geological name for it. Look at how shiny that black stuff is. So I got a little flake over there. I think that's about it. Got a red rock that, and a little bit of quartz that managed to get tangled in there. All that good New Mexico material. But I got some pretty little gold. Look at that. Gold. I heard people say gold. Let's see if we can zoom in. Can I go in any further? Let's see how far I can go in. Get a good shot here. Oh yeah. Look at that. Yeah, look at the way that thing is cut. It's called flint, but the geological name is something else. It's what you make knives and tomahawks and axes out of. Oh, it's going to be fun to find in there. And there's a little garnet up at the top there. Look at that. Little baby garnet. Wow. It's a nice little collection of material in here. That one almost looks like a face. And look at the shape in that one right there with like a little cut in it. Wow. All right, so let's take this back and we're just going to add that to the bag. And remember, like I said, this bag already has some gold in it because this is one of our standard bags. So I'm going to take what we got today, right there, you can see it, and I'm just going to throw it in there. So you get a double bag of gold. All right, so this is Paydirt number 21. Remember, to qualify to win, there's 2 conditions. Condition number 1 is, well, I left the camera on the microscope, let me turn it off. There are 2 conditions. Condition number 1 is you have to make a comment on this video. And condition number 2 is you have to be present on next Wednesday night in order to win. So what you're hoping for is Garage Prospecting Paydirt number 21 because that has a double dose of gold in it. All right? All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I like the PortaSluice It needs some more kind of, I think, refining in terms of techniques and water speed, and I want to get my pump working. Although, you know, I noticed on that that power supply that I was using, that's a 260 watt hour power supply, and while I was running, I noticed it was drawing around 11 watts at almost 10 volts, 9.88 volts. So that means it could run up to 26 hours. So I could do a run and have enough time to run my CPAP, okay? If we went out. Next time we do this, we're gonna be out in the field, okay? And the next time we run the PortaSluice, we'll be out in the field and run it out there and see what we can get. All right, take care, thanks for watching.